Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I thought I'd come on. Just finished doing some work, and thought I'd come on and do a bit of a late Bodymoor bulletin. There's been quite a bit of news over the last couple of days, and I thought I'd round it up and just get your views, give my views on it, get your views in the comments about what you think of the latest news. Players getting called up for international duty. Um, Player of the seasons, potential transfer rumours as well. So yeah, um, just thought I'd give my thoughts. Um, First of all, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well. Help us spread the word of the channel. We're growing at an incredible rate. We are 20, I want to say 21 subscribers away from 1500. So please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when the shows are coming up. If you do want to become a member as well, it's just $1.99 a month, less than a third of the cost of a pint. We're heading up to 25 members, which will be our first members exclusive prize draw. And we're also doing a player of the season, the Villa Park Pod Player of the Season show. And if you want to be included in the vote, then become a member, as it's a members only vote as well. So, first of all, let's get into it. Mings, justifiably called up to the England squad. I think it was about time. Obviously, could have potentially been called up previously, at least in the previous squad. A player who's never really let England down. Obviously, the rumours, the kind of aspersions that are cast on Tyrone Mings is that he makes mistakes. Obviously, he has made one or two mistakes, but you tell me a centre back that hasn't made mistakes. He throws himself in every tackle. He puts his body on the line, and in my opinion, has been probably our most consistent performer of the season, even when under Gerrard wasn't playing well. The team wasn't playing well. He was still playing well, and you know, came back from a bit of adversity, captaincy taken off him, not playing in the first game of the season, and look at him now. I mean, you sometimes say that players can't generally improve after sort of 28, 29, but I think he's approaching 30 or might even just turn 30, and he's added an extra element to his game already. He's a true leader. He's winning everything. Any ball that comes into the box, he's winning. He's organising organising the rest of the defence. He's keeping a high line. His passing is excellent. And yet we're going to need him in the last game of the season against Brighton. But yeah, I mean, massively deserved call up to the England squad. Whether he plays or not, I'm not too sure. Obviously, Maguire's in there as well, but they've got Malta and North Macedonia. You'd have thought that he'd get some minutes, and I think England have won the vast majority of games that Mings has played. So he's certainly not going to let anybody down in those games. So yeah, obviously great news for him. Slightly disappointing for Ollie Watkins. Didn't get a call up. Whether it's Callum Wilson who got called up instead of him, that's up for debate. I think Wilson definitely deserves his call up. He's come back from injury for Newcastle and scored goals. I think they've probably their form has sort of dovetailed a little bit. Watkins was brilliant in sort of end of February, March. It's just going into April. Whereas Wilson has hit form right now when the England squad's getting announced, and unfortunately for Ollie Watkins, his form has dipped a little bit. So look, I'm not massively surprised that Watkins wasn't included in the squad. I don't. He could have maybe picked four strikers or four out and out strikers. I know Rashford's in as well. But yeah, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Maybe it'll put a little bit more determination in Ollie Watkins to get a goal on Sunday against Brighton, and show Southgate what he's missing, and hopefully Villa can benefit from that. That's not to say there's a full match program on the weekend, and you never know, injuries could occur, and Ollie could get a spot. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, bit of a shame for him. But yeah, obviously for Villa, make sure you go out and do the business, Ollie. And then obviously Jacob Ramsey was talked about quite a bit last week in terms of being on Southgate's radar for potentially more early next season, but wasn't in the squad, and a few Villa fans were we're quite disappointed with that. I'm not too surprised with it. I think it was more to do with who got picked. Conor Gallagher's getting in, Calvin Phillips is getting in, and they've not really had many minutes. And Gallagher's certainly not played very well this season. But I do think Ramsey is going to be used for the under-21s, and he's obviously been picked for them and potentially captain for their tournaments this summer. So it's a big time for him. And I tweeted out earlier, I know what I'd rather him do if he was to go out on international duty. It's far better him playing tournament football, getting tournament experience, rather than sitting on the bench against Malta and North Macedonia. So, look, the time Ramsey's time will come. I'm sure he will get. If he starts the season well next season, I'm sure he'll get in future England squads and could, if he has a good season next season, could be a wild card for the World Cup next year. So, sorry, is it the Euros next year? Yeah, Euros next year. So, yeah, could certainly be a wild card for that. Also, congratulations to Douglas Louise for getting the double at the awards ceremony for Villa. Supporters Player of the Year and Players Player of the Year. So, yeah, Louise has had a fantastic season. Has really grown as the season's gone on, and I think his performances, particularly under Emery, and particularly this last kind of 2 or 3 months, have been brilliant. He's a real leader in the midfield. He's reacted really well to Emery coming in and playing in that midfield with Kamara. And then when Kamara's injured, he stepped up and whatever he's asked to do, whether it's that deeper role, whether it's pushing forward, he's added goals to his game. He's got assists. The pass that he played for Ramsey the other day was excellent. The free kick he scored against Tottenham, and hopefully he's that driving force to get us into the European places on Sunday. So massive congratulations to Louise. Massive congratulations to all the other players that won awards. The Villa women's team obviously doing excellently. Rachel Daly winning awards there. So massive. I think it was a really good night. And yeah, I think massively, the feel good factor around the club is there for all to see, and they've just got to, the men's team's just got to go and do the job on Sunday against Brighton, and what a turnaround it will have been for the season. So look, fantastic news. Players getting awards, players getting international recognition. It's brilliant. And then finally, just looking at one or two transfers that have been, the rumours are abound again, but fairly creditable sources. Talking about certain players, and Manuel Ugarte, I think we featured him a little while ago, but it looks like Villa and Tottenham having a little bit of a tug of war, and maybe how the outcome of Sunday goes influences his decision if it's to be believed. But look at him here, central midfielder, age 22, so really good age. Market value saying they're 24 million euros. I think there might be a release clause in there of maybe 50 million euros, but I'm sure you guys in the comments can let me know. Played 31 matches this season. His rating on FotMob is 7.56, which is fantastic. 31 games, 11 yellow cards this season, so likes to put a tackle in. Hasn't scored any goals this season. Got 2 last season and 2 the season. 2 assists the season last season, and 1 goal and 2 assists the season before. Champions League, has played a few games in the Champions League, so 6 games this season in the Champions League. Again, 2 yellow cards in that, and then 4 games in the Europa League, 2 yellow cards, and then that red card, which I believe was against Arsenal. 8 caps for Uruguay, and obviously total appearances of 85 for Sporting Lisbon. But at age 22 to have that amount of games already is excellent. And we've talked about adding players to the team, adding players to the squad, and you can see there's certain times where our midfield can be a little bit lacking. On Saturday, for example, against Liverpool, no fault of our players, they put in everything for the first 60 minutes. They were incredible, but we were sitting back and back and back, and to have options and to have real quality to bring off the bench, or to be competing with the first choice midfield is brilliant. So he would massively improve us. But then you would be talking about bringing real quality off the bench, or obviously playing European football. You need that squad to be able to cope with the Thursday Sunday football matches. So yeah, it's a real stretch. And then finally, another player that, again, a decent source in Miguel Delaney, had mentioned Harvey Barnes, and this is a player that I would really like. The only thing is he's a left winger, so whether that does slightly interfere with the way that that Emery likes to play. Obviously, Moreno has been pushing down that left-hand side, and then we've played more of an orthodox right-sided with a right winger and then a right back. I don't know, but we'd have to wait and see. He does like to cut inside onto his right foot. Whether he kind of changes him a little bit and makes him more orthodox down the right, I don't know. But 25 years old. He's played 33 games this season, has scored 12 goals, which is excellent return in a struggling Leicester side, as we know. Only 1 assist this season, 10 assists last season. Now, I'd probably suggest that has something to do with, the striker problems that Leicester have had this season and the inconsistencies there. But, the season before last, 6 goals and 10 assists is pretty impressive. And then consistently before that, 9 goals, 4 assists, 6 goals, 8 assists. So consistently, in double figures for goal contributions, which is excellent. Was around the England setup for a little while, has 1 cap for England, which was achieved in 2020, and also does have that Europa League experience, last season playing 8 times, and a little bit of Champions League experience as well. But again, if we're talking about players who can have an impact on our team from wide areas, then Harvey Barnes is certainly one. Not saying he's massively consistent, but what wingers are, but certainly in terms of that contribution, certainly up a level from a Bailey this season, or a Traore previously, and someone obviously who knows the Premier League. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on those. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on any of that I've just discussed. Ugarte and Barnes. Do you think they're realistic signings for us? Do you think they'll help improve our team? The England setup, Watkins. Do you think he deserved a call up, or are you glad that he didn't get one? Are we pleased for Tyrone Mings and what that means for him and Ramsey? What does the future hold for someone like Ramsey with the international setup? But that's it from me. Don't forget, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. We'll be back with match preview. Don't miss out. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and as always, remember, we all follow the Villa. Thanks, everyone.